Hey everybody, we're back. Feels like it's been a while.
It has been. It's been 2 weeks now. We took a week off last week, and thank you guys for being patient with us and for all of the condolences. We really appreciate it. It was a tough time, and Zoya was much loved, but and will be missed. But she had a good life, and she was happy, and she knew she was loved, and we're thankful for that.
Yep.
First of all, we want to give a shout out to our newest patron, Bob F. Thank you so much for stepping up and supporting us in a bigger way. We appreciate it more than you know. Cheers to you.
So this week we actually got caught off guard by a big weather system. A big weather system that was nothing.
It was nothing. It did not turn into anything. It was not forecast to be anything. It was just a storm.
It was the tail end of the big storm that hit New York. And we feel for everybody who got flooded. If you can go watch some of those videos, it was a horrible event. So we start every morning by checking the weather. I keep up with the 7-day. I have since this event augmented the sites that I check for weather. I feel like some of them let us down this week.
Oh, repeatedly, and this is not the first time, but this was in a big way. Yeah, because some of them were saying, it's supposed to be maybe 3 knots, gusting to 7 or something like that. And let me tell you, it was never 3 knots. In the last week, it hasn't been 3 knots.
Yeah.
We're having some nice weather now. Thankfully, we're past it. But yeah, it was pretty awful and unrelenting. It did not let up for an entire week.
For an entire week, right? And the forecast kept saying one more day, and that just gets frustrating.
So the day of the storm started out like any other. It was nice and calm and sunny, right? It started out sunny, and there wasn't anything really forecast to be.
No, the forecast had some showers in the afternoon. We actually went grocery shopping that afternoon, and we planned it to beat the showers.
That's right, yeah, because we knew that there was going to be a storm, so we did some very light provisioning. We got groceries enough to last us for a few days, so we could wait it out and not have to get off the boat, because we did know that it was going to be.
It was supposed to be like a squall line come through.
A couple of days, yeah.
We started to see fishing boats coming in later on that day, and we didn't think anything of it.
Maybe that should have been a sign.
Yeah. The anchorage started to fill up with sailboats coming in from offshore, and we didn't think anything of that either. But this would be the start of like a 6-day heavy blow for us. We wouldn't see the sun. The waves would be chopped. We would get very little sleep. It was rough. Yes, I see that. The question is, are we getting closer? Fine. I don't want to drag.
Yeah.
don't think we were dragging, but we swung really close to this dock. So we started the motor up and I put it in gear. We're staying pointed into the wind, and I'm just giving it a little throttle to help fight the wind and take some of the stress off the anchor. If we get too close to the dock, I'm already in gear, I can throttle up and get away from the dock.
Oh, there's somebody out there in it. We were just amazed because it lasted a good 6 days, and the winds never really died down. They much of the time were forecast to be between 20 and 30 knots. And we did see gusts above that. It was never a tropical storm or a tropical depression or anything. It literally was the nothing. There was, it was just a storm.
It was, yeah. In fact, when it wasn't raining, the wind was still going. There was rotation in the maps, so it wasn't a tropical depression or anything organized, but it sure felt like it. So it's like 1 in the morning. We are having quite a blow right now. It's one heck of a gale. It's been absolutely horribly stormy all day long. Windy. You can see that. Says it is 3-mile-an-hour winds in St. Augustine. Let's see, I will put on gusts. Okay, that's a little better. Now, it is crazy. It says that the winds are 3, gusting 13. That doesn't seem reasonable. I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. Just though we reset the hook yesterday, so I never trust it. I don't trust it the first day we reset it. So I'll be up all night, just making sure everything stays where it's supposed to. As bad, if not worse, than Idalia.
For us, I would say it was definitely worse because at least during Idalia we were in a slip. So we kind of weathered it out there and it wasn't too bad. We were tied, we had lines everywhere. We were tied up. So we were nice and snug. But this, of course, we're out at anchor and we did have an anchor alarm set, but we don't trust it 100%. And so
well, the anchor alarm just tells you when you're dragging, so
right. And by that time, if your alarm goes off and you're deep in sleep and you wake up and you're groggy and you go upstairs and you're dragging into somebody's dock or a bridge or somebody else's boat, well, it's already too late. So for much of the time, we did stay upstairs in the cockpit and just kind of on watch, making sure that nothing happened.
What do you think?
It was about 2 a.m. here, and we are in some sort of a gale. There's a small craft advisory right now. They put out a small craft advisory with winds, I think, 15 to 25 knots and gusts expected up to 30.
That's 25 knots, not miles an hour.
And we are currently pointed the opposite direction in our anchorage as everybody else. I'm not sure why. Although our neighbor is kind of flip-flopping all over the place, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. So far our anchor seems to be holding. We have our anchor alarm set and it hasn't gone off, and we're keeping an eye out because nobody can sleep right now. But the weather is terrible. And we're just trying to keep the boat stationary.
Yeah, what did the winds say for Wonderground?
Wonderground, I think, said the winds were 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, gusting to 7.
Gusting to 7. I think this is a little bit more than 7 miles an hour.
Yeah, even Windy said like 3 gusting 15, 13, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Miles an hour, though.
I think the government issued statement is probably a little bit more accurate than that. It's very gusty here. Feels kind of like Adalia, would you say, when we were at the marina?
Yeah, absolutely.
Feels kind of like that.
This is the same winds.
But there we were in a slip in a marina, and here we're at Anchorage with several other boats. We had somebody come up next to us today and drop anchor, I guess, probably to weather the storm. Not really crazy about their selection of Anchorage. I feel like they're too close, but I'm sure they did the best that they could, and this was the best that they could find at the time. So we're just on watch right now and trying to keep everybody safe. Maybe you can talk neighbor.
Yeah.
Flopping around.
I don't know how people sleep through this kind of stuff. Maybe we're just not experienced enough, but this is insane. Pelting rain, heavy blowing wind. So hopefully the anchor stays put and we stay put.
Oh yeah, it wasn't really possible to get any good sound sleep during that. It was just, there was too much going on, and we did actually take turns trying to sleep downstairs in the master stateroom, but the noise was so loud between the waves slapping the boat and the painter, the dinghy painter, pulling on the cleat. It sounded like it was ripping fiberglass, and everything creaking and groaning every time the boat rolled, and it rolled a lot.
Yeah, there's a certain angle at which a wave will hit the back of this boat that sounds like someone hit it with a board.
Yes, yeah.
It is a huge boom.
Yeah. So there's no way to get any good sleep during that.
So unfortunately, we were unable to prepare for this event, this whole day, the whole night. We bought groceries today, and when we dinghied back, it was starting to drizzle. And I checked windy, and it said, yeah, it's going to be a little breezy this afternoon, but tonight was going to be very calm. I checked weather.com, and it said that storms would continue until 4 p.m. So we came back, we tied up the dinghy, and that was the end of it. At 3:50, it changed to storms will continue until 6 p.m. At 5:50, it changed to storms will continue until 10 p.m. At 9:50, it changed to storms will continue till 11 p.m. and then periodically throughout the night. Windy still thinks that it is not blowing it hard at all. It is 2:30 right now. Let's see what Windy has to say. As you can see, Windy thinks it's 5 miles an hour at 2. Let's advance to 3. At 3 a.m. it thinks it's also going to be 5 miles an hour. So I don't know where she's coming up with this garbage. The small craft advisory from weather.com says this will last until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So this is boat life. People on land are walking to their car going, oh, it's breezy. At least it's not raining. And we're over here panicking. Additionally, so our dinghy is totally flooded and full of water from all the rain, which we would have hung so that it wasn't banging into the boat and could drain easily, and we'd have the motor on the stanchions. but we were ill prepared. So here we are, just weathering the storm.
It's 4 a.m. here now, and we're still awake. We're still here holding down the fort. The catch that was anchored right behind us, it looks like he started to drag, and so he pulled up his anchor and motored further down the channel.
He was flopping around a lot.
He was really swinging around a lot, and it did look like he was dragging to us because it looked like he was getting closer to our boat.
Yeah, he kept getting bigger.
He kept getting bigger. So, anyways, he's gone now, which is a good thing. And the other boat that's next to us is holding really firmly, and so are we. So we're doing okay. It's late. I feel like the wind might have died down a little bit. It's coming more in kind of short bursts now rather than long sustained gusts. But we're doing okay. Just tired and ready for this to calm down so we can go to bed.
It's not going to calm down for like 24 hours.
Yeah, it's not supposed to calm down for quite some time. So we'll probably just kind of continue to do shifts. We did readjust our anchor yesterday. Was it yesterday?
No, this morning.
Oh, this morning, yeah.
We reset.
Or I guess now technically yesterday.
Technically yesterday, yes.
But so we've been a little bit nervous about it holding. We wanted to make sure that that we weren't going to drift anywhere. But it seems like it's holding really well, thankfully.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So, yeah, we went out briefly and adjusted the snubber a little, just to make sure that everything was tight on the cleats. And boat life, right?
Dates on the beach with heavy rain and fog. Visibility 1.5 miles. 75. Wind southwest at 3. 12 nautical miles east of St. Augustine. Sea temperature 82. Seas 8 feet. Wave period 7 seconds. Swell from the northeast. St. Augustine Beach. Wind north at 30. Surf temperature 81. Air temperature 78.
St. Augustine Beach, 30 mile an hour straight line winds. Seas 8 feet. This is rough. So our boat has a lot of freeboard. Freeboard is how much above water there is of the hull. And with our bimini and our tower with the solar panels and our sail bag and all that freeboard, we were catching a lot of air. And because there's a lot of current where we are at, the current and the winds would be at odds, going opposite directions twice a day. We would get locked broadside to this. The current is trying to push the keel and the underwater portion of the boat down current, and the wind is turning it sideways. So our anchor chain would literally be coming off the side of the bow of the boat, and we would be stuck sideways. And you can see here the current is just going underneath the boat and creating huge whirlpools and bubbling up from underneath the boat because the wind is holding us sideways. So we're leaning heavily. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. We're at anchorage and we're still getting like a 10 degree, 15 degree lean going on. And the current and the wind are going opposite direction, which makes for big waves. And those waves are striking us broadside. So we have the lean, the broadside waves. It was a real mess for days. Days and days. It got frustrating.
Yeah, so as this all started, a boat came in and anchored up next to us, between us and the channel marker, essentially. And
Close.
They were close. Yeah, they were close. They came in as we were readjusting our anchor also. So I don't know if maybe they thought we were leaving or if, I don't know what. But they came in and they anchored up, and we were pretty close to each other.
If we had all swung the same direction, it would have never been a problem. But when we would get broadside to the current, we would do this on our anchor. And so if their boat's pinned in the wind or pinned on the current and we're doing this, there was a couple of times we started the motor, I'm like, we're about to hit him.
So it's about noon-ish now. I'm not sure exactly what time it is.
11:35.
11:35. And you can see it's still really blustery here. The wind's not died down. We were swinging pretty wildly on the hook, and our neighbor who showed up late to the party did contact us on the radio and offered to move their boat. I think that they were a little bit worried that we might bump into them because we were swinging a lot. And we did actually end up having to turn the motor on a couple of times because we thought we were a little too close for comfort. But with our anchor holding as well as it was, we were kind of reluctant to pull up anchor and move ourselves. So we were hoping that he would offer to move, and he did. So we're grateful for that. They've gone across to the other side of the channel now, and they're looking for a spot to anchor up. I hope that they have good success. And I feel a lot better now. We've got plenty of room. The other boat that was closest to us last night moved off.
He drug a lot.
He did. He dragged anchor quite a bit and came toward us at one point. So thankfully he knew about that and fixed it by leaving. See the lean we're on. And anyway, we're still okay. We're just waiting for this to die down, which I don't think is going to anytime soon. I think this is going to continue on for the rest of the day and maybe into tonight. But we're just sitting in the cockpit, kind of on watch, making sure that everything goes okay. We've got our anchor along the set, and right now we're good to go. But most of the other boats, for the most part, were still or pointed into the wind most of the time, and flow was just all over the place. Y'all know nothing can be simple with us, and this was just another instance where, you know, Flo was kind of doing her own thing. She was all over the place, and so finally,
like a dog fighting against a leash.
Fighting against a leash. That's exactly right. Dropping anchor?
Yeah. It's a nice spot.
Sailing vessel Podunk, hailing the sailing vessel anchoring in Mentanza Bay by the Red Boat. Do you copy?
That's gotta be them.
That's gotta be One Love, yeah. Alright, so what just happened?
So our neighbor that had pulled up his anchor and went across the channel, anchored up behind a red boat that's out there. The red boat had moved. It was anchored right across from us, across the channel from us, and in front of the fort. And it moved north about 300 yards. So he moved a little bit farther down the channel and anchored out there. And our neighbor went across and anchored up behind him. And then another vessel contacted him and said that that red boat had dragged anchor and went past his boat. So the red boat dragged anchor about 300 yards yards. There's nobody on it. It just dragged out to that location. So another boat notified our former neighbor and let him know that boat might not hold. So yeah, we didn't realize that boat had just dragged.
Like I said, the weather agencies we were watching did not make it as big a deal, and we have since augmented our weather agencies. If you have good weather agency suggestions, put it in the comments. We'd love to see them. Right now, windguru.cz seems to be our favorite, or it seems to be the most accurate for us. Recommended by a friend who used to sail a lot, so we're hitting that one. Windy is good, I guess, if you're offshore quite a ways, but
yeah, in our circumstance, it failed us pretty miserably.
Failed us miserably. Anyway, so eventually it did clear up and got beautiful again. So, So we just came through this vicious storm, as you can see, and now the sun. One of the annoying things that we need to fix, when we get a good rain, our mast will fill with water. We have weep holes around it, and that's what they're for. However, they get clogged. So I take a zip strap, I kind of rod them out. When it fills up with water, it will drip inside down our compression post. It's annoying. So you just got to remember to every storm, come out and rot it out. I don't know what the fix is for that. Please leave your suggestions in the comments. It's an ongoing issue, and we just deal with it so far.
One other thing that we kind of struggle with when we get rain, or even just in choppy waters, when the water comes over the bow of the dinghy, we get water in the dinghy.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day now. When our dinghy is hung on the davits, we lean it and we pull the plug, and that rain just goes out. But as you can see, when she's in the water, she fills with rainwater. So I have to go pump all of that out before we can go anywhere today. And we do not have an electric pump for that, so it's all manual effort. All right, let's go get it done. Okay. Whew. I just ran a marathon with my arms on that little hand pump, but as you can see, the dinghy is now mostly pumped out, so we can finally go ashore and do stuff. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. We're back. We're leaning hard into season 2. There's sailing. There's new upgrade projects. No more repair projects. There will be repair projects. We have a website, forloveofwind.com. Go check it out. It talks about us and the deckhounds and the boat, and it tells you about our League of Mariners. That's our patrons that support us in a more direct way and get more insider information. Mesha has a blog that comes out every week. Wednesdays.
I would say every week. Yes,
every week.
Bear with me, you guys. It's been hard to be on a schedule here, and especially with our ongoing power issues, which that's a whole other episode.
She's very talented. I love the stuff. It's more of the nitty-gritty behind the scenes of all the things that are going on. So check it out, forloveofwind.com, patreon.com/forloveofwind.
If you're enjoying our videos, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell and join us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.